There's a few parts to this video, but it's worth watching every single part. I went out dancing last night at Patty and Winery. Oh my God. Shady on the grass, Mitchell Brothers playing. It was amazing. Ladies, you don't realize how much your men are watching me. They're with you because they said, I do and I will, but you're not supposed to be stuck with someone. They are looking at me and fantasizing about me the next few times you do it with them on Thursday or whatever day you do it. They're thinking of me because the way I dance, the way I move, men go crazy, but I dance to music the way I feel. Men want a woman who's not afraid to dance. Men want a woman who's not afraid to show who she is. She said I do because we believe that's what we do. But it was because of the brothers centuries ago, thousands of years ago, that screwed the pooch for all of us. But now it's over. They've undone the curse, and we get to now fully be who we are. Men, let's go at it. When the world is the way it's supposed to be, we can. And then we move on. I live in an exceptionally tiny town, smaller than Mount Shasta. Population under 3,000. The sign says 2840. Who knows when that was put up? But it's nestled in wine country, and the airport's right there. Fred Meyer, Costco, gas. I don't have to commute like I did on the coast. So here I am back in a small town, which I'm going to look for a forever home for a bit. Nobody has been around me at all, except for a few nearby men, and they make it evident, very evident, they would love me to be their girl. And they all know it's not happening. I'm nobody's girl, ever. I can't do that. But what I have become, I dropped in a video the other day, just how I can't get sick. I have become the fullest version of what I can become while still on this planet, in these feet, with these limbs, with this head, with this hair, with this body. I get the best version of myself moving forward because I did the work. And the work entails stopping believing anything that you believe is not true. And that includes the things you talk to each other about your periods being in sync, about the signs of aging. This is it. Thank you. Your life is so predictable that I don't need to go through it. All the things you go through from preschool to marriage to the kids and then retirement, retire, die. You don't have to go through that cycle. I have been on that path, but I left that path. I've moved 104 times. When you allow yourself to move immediately after you've stepped into the new version of yourself, you have to leave because you just got to start right there and be that around the next people and then leave because you've grown and then go start right there. I want to stay on task. We know what we do. So in this process, you guys, you get bored. Your life is your children. That is one of the biggest first mistakes. The first one is that you marry a man and you believe you're beholden to him and that you need to marry him and take his name and move into a box. And we've lost all of our rights to this. But that's over. That's just over. You believe that and you find yourself so fucking bored. It's like you want grandbabies because you're so bored. You think reproduction's the only act in town. No, it's not it. Reproduction is merely to give a new baby a ride to the planet to become their fullest version like I am without the bullshit layer of you telling them who they are in between. In between. You've got to stop inserting your life into these little offspring because they are perfect little vessels, little beings, and they know who they are and why they're here. But you saying, you're going to preschool, you could be a doctor, when they just want to be a florist in South Africa. You need to shut your trap, but you can't because you have them because you're bored. So I know now people who had children, lots of them, and they don't get to have them anymore because these kids, if they have kids, are on their own. These parents are like, I want babies, I want grandbabies. And so now they're taking up all kinds of hobbies and doing different things to make money. It's like, you guys, why? Why do you subscribe to the kids are gone? Now what am I gonna do? Before you even subscribe to even getting married, stop to see who you are. You are going to love who you are and what you're capable of. I swear I was gonna start with stay tuned for the end. I will put myself in a bikini for the camera, which I still might do it. Stay tuned for the end because I'd have to change, but I will. I wear them now. I have no problem with bikinis. I would never wear a bikini before. There was just too much extra going on here, you know? There was just far too much, but it was more the belief that I could never be this. So your beliefs, you look at labels, this has this, I can't have that, it's not good for me. Everything is bad for you that you believe is. I eat anything I want. I don't eat much. And I'm the tiniest version of myself. I'm the strongest version of myself, and I'm the healthiest version of myself. I can't wait for doctors to look at me and check me out physically and see how can I do this? Because I unplugged from all of the people that let me go to a place to where, Carrie, you can't do that. I can't believe I just had to keep going because we are all that. We're all full of helium. We all have to keep going. You think you need to be around those people, and that's why you create disease and die. You get bored. You have nothing else to do. I am disease-free. I am as youthful as I've ever been. I am 66 years old. I'm more youthful now than I was in my 20s and 30s when I was overweight and underweight and broken. Oh my God, I want to share this. I didn't share this with her, but I want to share this. Somebody, when I first got my door in the radio at Young Country in Seattle, Ward Rice hired me on the spot. I was a new salesperson. 2 weeks later, April started in promotions for Young Country. It was like, I felt like I was new in an industry, as was she. It was like I felt like I had somebody's hand to hold through that playing field called my life. She posted a picture on Facebook the other day of her and her best friends from our days at CBS. We worked there together at CBS. And they have this retreat they go to, I guess, every year. It's so telling who I was. It was 1997 when I started there. Who I was someone who was just in Washington. I left Craig. We were already separated a long time, but I was still lost. I was so lost. But I had a counselor in Ohio, and I was ready to stand on my own 2 feet. And so I was in Washington, and I met John a long time after. And that was when everything else would start to shift. But who I was at that time was confident. I was no longer a broken inner child carrying into my childhood with me. I let all that part go. There was no blaming mama for what you did to me, what your husbands did to me. None of that blame. It was like, this is my bus. If I want to drive it, I drive it. If I want to say, you're driving my bus, whose fault is that? When I moved to Washington, I had my training wheels on to be the strongest version of myself. And so when I started, that was in 95. And then I started working with April in 97. I was still this big. I was Pond Scum. My first book was From Pond Scum to Superwoman. On the outside, I was the bomb. Until later when somebody told me I was a bomb, and I was like, I know, I feel it. But I wasn't the bomb then. So she posted this picture. And it was her with a woman who would win a CMA award for our station, KMPS, Becky Brenner, program director, amazing program director. Lisa Decker, president of the company. Cindy, who was in sales, and some more I don't know. And I remember I looked at that and who I was when I moved to Washington in 95 was that small little girl that saw people like that as giants that I could never be around. When here my dear friend is one of them, and I'm one of them. But when you Become more than you are. You've got to leave. You've got to go somewhere else where you can allow your bigger new version to unfold in front of a new audience. That means new friends, new coworkers, new everything. Leave where you are so you can become that bigger, amazing version of yourself. Nothing can hurt you. My gateway drug to all of this was Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks. Law of Attraction was introduced to me. It all made sense. I listened to the first 2 books while driving. And then I just kept going through more and more. But every day while I'm washing my face, while I'm going through walks, I listened to her little 10-minute videos. And I got to understand fluently law of attraction. I started living it, realizing people just want to manifest abundance. That's not reality. You need to ask for clarity to show you your path. Where you're supposed to be is where you're going to produce at your best level, and you will be abundant. But stop being greedy and wanting stuff along the way. You don't need stuff to where you need to get. So I followed law of attraction. And everybody says, do this stuff, guys. It's true, it works. And all for the love of God, guys, it does. But I couldn't be holding hands with people who kept telling me, no, you can't go that far. There's big people, big teachers leading big flocks who told me, no, Carrie, you've gone too far. And I'm like, oh my God, you see limitations. And I know better because I've lived without them for many years with no human beings. None. So I'm here to show you what you can be, your ultimate best self. Absolutely healthy, vivacious, able to do anything you want. If I found somebody with a boat, I would have them pull me up skiing on one ski. If I found a cliff, even though my eardrums are perforated, I would do my swan dive. If I found a place to ski with snow, I would ski, and as fast as I can go. I am not limited. I sing out loud now. I dance like a crazy wild woman with my good moves. Why would I ever be limited? You don't stop your life and retire. You stop the life you've been programmed to live. Don't create hobbies. Become who you are. Unpeel, unfold, unplug from those people who make you feel icky, that give you a responsibility in their life. Unplug from all of them. Say, guys, I got to take a hiatus for me. 6 months, new number. Don't reach out. I'll be in touch. Go. Give yourself a minute or two. Don't reach out to them. See the people you meet and the connections that start immediately. A lot of people who want to take their lives, they need to just do that anyway. We all do. As soon as you go somewhere else and you start where you are, not your sad self, this happened to me, your happy self. I have a new opportunity. I can start right now. And I do that every day. I choose me every day. I found the town. I'm going to find the home. Everything else will fit in. The art is flowing. Everything is beautiful. It's really good to be me. I feel like I'm in my teens. I am, guys. I've got the body that I never had. I was Pocahontas. This many teeth. I ate too many teeth in this teeny little mouth. Yeah, I am the life of my dreams now. And you do want yours. You do. I had to add this, and I really don't feel like setting up the whole recording equipment again. So this afternoon, my meal, what I ate, I had half a banana. I had Rice Krispies and a banana and milk. There was a day when I couldn't eat bananas. I was allergic to them. I couldn't have kiwi, latex fruit, shellfish, lobster, shrimp, fish fingers, salmon, anything, because I was allergic because I agreed to it. I also had 2 bad episodes when my body was starting to tell me you don't need to take medication, but I was still like a human believing I needed it. I had a reaction after, I think I was on enalapril or something for 15 years. I don't know, 12 years. My throat started closing. So I had to go to the hospital. They figured it out, had to put me on another tier. Not long after that, it started closing again. They're like, what the hell? They had to put me on another tier, and they only had one other tier. I was on that. How many pills a day? High blood pressure, 3 pills a day for that. Highest cholesterol on the planet. Needed vitamin D. I lived in Seattle. I had to take all this stuff, and I just stopped taking it. And I wrote a letter to my nephrologist. I would love to see what his thoughts were when I sent him the letter. I've stopped taking medication, and if he'd like to see me years later. No, it's a bit too much for many of them to handle. So I had to add this addendum.